Today's guide is about Gord, one of the most annoying and dangerous mages in Mobile Legends. If you've ever been hit by Gord's first skill and instantly blown up afterward, you're definitely not alone. Despite having a very simple kit, Gord is capable of dealing an incredible amount of damage from long range. His passive inflicts true damage while also slowing enemies, making him one of the best mages for dealing with durable tanks and fighters. On top of that, his abilities have outstanding range, especially his ultimate, allowing Gord to safely contribute to fights while constantly putting pressure on the enemy team. If you want to master this hero and unlock his full potential, make sure to watch until the end. In this video, I'll clearly and simply explain how his passive works, break down each of his skills, show you the most effective combos, the best builds, and finish with some essential tips to help you maximize your gameplay with this true Goku of Mobile Legends. Passive. Whenever Gord hits an enemy 4 times with his skills within a short period, his next hit triggers his passive, dealing bonus true damage. This damage scales with his level and a portion of his total magic power. In addition, the passive applies a 20% slow for 1 second. This effect can stack up to 2 times, further reducing the target's mobility and making it much easier to land your follow-up abilities. Thanks to its true damage, this passive is extremely effective against durable heroes, especially tanks and certain fighters. Skill 1. Gord throws an energy orb in a chosen direction. Upon hitting an enemy, the orb explodes, dealing magic damage and stunning all enemies within the area for 1 second. Besides its crowd control, this ability also reveals the positions of all enemies hit, providing valuable vision during fights. Its range is quite long, allowing Gord to safely engage and control enemies from a distance, making it an excellent tool for both picks and teamfights. Skill 2. Gord creates an energy field at a designated location, continuously dealing magic damage to enemies who remain inside the area. At first glance, this skill may seem simple, but it's actually one of the most important parts of Gord's kit. Because it deals multiple consecutive hits, it triggers Gord's passive very quickly, activating both the true damage effect and the slow. In practice, this combination allows Gord to deal an enormous amount of damage to enemies who stay inside the energy field. Ultimate. Gord unleashes a powerful energy beam in a chosen direction, continuously dealing magic damage to all enemies caught in its path for several seconds. While channeling the ability, you can adjust the direction of the beam using the movement joystick, allowing you to track moving enemies and make it much harder for them to escape. The main drawback is that Gord remains completely stationary while channeling the ultimate. Because of this, proper positioning is essential before casting it. Even with this limitation, it remains one of the highest damage abilities among the game's mages. Combos. Gord is an extremely simple hero mechanically. Unlike many mages, his gameplay isn't centered around complex combos, but rather on proper positioning and using his abilities at the right time. Even so, there are a few skill sequences that will help you get the most out of his kit. Before reaching level 4, the most effective combo is to start with Skill 1 to stun the target, then immediately cast Skill 2 to deal continuous damage while the enemy is crowd controlled. This is your primary trading pattern during the early game. Once you unlock your ultimate, the standard combo is to begin with Skill 1, follow up with Skill 2, and finish by channeling your ultimate. This sequence keeps the enemy under control while dealing massive sustained damage. You can further enhance this combo by using Winter Crown. Activating the item's effect while channeling your ultimate allows Gord to stay protected while continuing to deal damage, greatly increasing his survivability during teamfights. Another useful option is to use Flicker while channeling your ultimate to quickly reposition. This can be used aggressively to catch fleeing enemies, adjust the beam's angle, or defensively to escape dangerous situations. These are Gord's core combos. They're incredibly simple to execute, but when used at the right moment, they can have a tremendous impact on any match. Build and emblems. A large portion of Gord's damage comes from his passive, which constantly deals true damage. Because of this, his build is much more focused on enhancing sustained damage rather than burst damage, unlike most other mages. He also doesn't rely as heavily on magic penetration items, although they can be very effective against certain team compositions. Glowing Wand is one of Gord's core items. Besides providing a solid amount of magic power, it applies anti-heal and continuously burns enemies through its passive, significantly increasing Gord's pressure during fights. Ice Queen Wand also synergizes perfectly with Gord's kit. Since both Skill 2 and his ultimate deal continuous damage through multiple hits, the item's slow effect is constantly refreshed, making it much harder for enemies to escape and greatly improving the effectiveness of his combos. Sky Piercer is another excellent choice. In addition to granting adaptive attack and movement speed, its execute passive makes it much easier for Gord to finish off low-health enemies, perfectly complementing his damage output. Wishing Lantern is extremely effective against durable tanks and fighters. Its passive deals damage based on the target's maximum HP, making Gord an even greater threat against high-health compositions. When facing enemies with high magic defense, Divine Glaive is, in my opinion, the best magic penetration item for Gord. It significantly increases his damage against tankier targets without compromising the overall purpose of the build. As for emblems, the Mage emblem remains the best choice. For the first talent, I recommend Agility or Inspire. In the second slot, Wilderness Blessing or Bargain Hunter are both excellent options. For the final slot, Impure Rage is, without a doubt, the talent that best complements Gord's kit. For battle spells, Flicker is by far the strongest option. Since Gord has very limited mobility and no escapability, Flicker greatly improves his survivability while giving him an invaluable repositioning tool during fights. These are the builds and emblem setups I recommend the most, especially for players who are just starting to learn Gord. Feel free to use them as a foundation or adapt them to fit your own playstyle and the needs of each match. Tips to improve your gameplay. Gord is a low-mobility hero, as he doesn't have any escape abilities in his kit. Because of this, it's essential to play from a safe distance and take full advantage of the long range of his abilities. With proper positioning, you'll be able to deal massive damage while staying out of danger. Skill 1 is one of Gord's most important tools thanks to its crowd control. During the laning phase, it's excellent for initiating trades because of its impressive range. When combined with Skill 2, it creates an extremely effective poke combo that allows you to pressure the enemy mid laner from a safe distance during the early game. Another major advantage of Skill 1 is its ability to safely check bushes. Whenever you don't have vision of the enemy team, use this skill to scout potential ambushes. Developing this habit will greatly reduce your chances of getting caught while rotating around the map. Skill 1 is also an outstanding defensive tool. Its stun can easily stop enemy engages, and when followed by Skill 2, it quickly activates Gord's passive, applying a slow that makes escaping much easier while also helping protect your teammates. Gord's ultimate is his primary source of damage during teamfights. Because it deals multiple consecutive hits, it constantly triggers his passive, allowing him to inflict true damage and melt even the toughest tanks and fighters. However, it's very important to choose the right moment to use it. Since Gord remains stationary while channeling his ultimate, poor positioning can easily get you eliminated before you finish casting it. Whenever possible, cast your ultimate from a safe location, preferably behind your team's front line. That wraps up the guide. I hope you found it helpful, and thank you so much for watching until the end. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep improving at Mobile Legends, feel free to check out the other content on the channel. We have a dedicated playlist featuring complete hero guides, covering everything from abilities and combos to builds, emblems, and advanced gameplay tips. If you're looking for something more specific, I've also created 5 separate playlists organized by role, making it easier to find guides for the heroes you actually play. Thank you very much for your support and for watching until the end. Your support means a lot and motivates me to keep creating more high-quality content for all of you. See you in the next video.